Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Bird's Eye View podcast, Halloween edition. We're all dressed up. Of course, I'm your football coach, wearing the mask improperly like they always do. We got Willy Wonka, I want to say.
Work in the league as best I can.
It's something. And of course, we got Mr. Canada. Mr. Canada, of course, Mr. Zachary Miansfo.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Very good. How are you today?
Very good, very good. Luke, of course, Mr. Willy Wonka. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good stuff. Well, let's have some fun. I won't be wearing the mask at all, so you can hear my beautiful voice oh so clearly throughout this whole episode. Just to get right into it, we got the weekly recap, of course, to kick off the show, and we have an interview a little bit later on. Stay tuned with that. We have a League of Legends player joining us on the show, so we'll get to that shortly. But first, Luke, you want to start us off with some Rainbow Six action?
Yep. So Rainbow Six advances in the CR6 playoffs. They lost the first map to University of Texas, but then map 2 and 3 they handily won.
Okay, now to Zach for some CSGO.
For CSGO, they ended up playing 3 matches this week. They actually won all 3. The first one, they were against Juniata Eagles. I'm not sure if I said that right. I'm just going to guess that. They won 16-7. Shirzy and Zapper again with the top frags. I think they had top frags most games last week also. Game 2, they're against Durham. Won 16-3, which seems like quite a big stomp. I know it's versus 16, or win by 2. Again, Shirzy and Zapper led again. And then the third game was against University of Illinois. And guess what happened?
Wait, a forfeit in collegiate esports? Really?
There was a forfeit. But we take the W. That's all that matters.
We take those.
It's a big Game 3 win against the University of Illinois.
Huge W for the boys.
Love to see it. Okay, now Luke, Fortnite.
So Fortnite, in week 4 of Play versus Collegiate, they came 25th, with their best game being a 3rd place finish with 9 eliminations and a 5th place finish with 11.
Right, and of course, Saints Gaming Call of Duty, 2 matches on the weekend. Unfortunately, dropping a 2-1 loss to Penn State University. They did win map number 2. Big surprise. You know, the boys have struggled in Search and Destroy over the course of last year, but managed to pull one out. But I know Dawson had some internet issues in the Game 3, which definitely did not help. And of course, the second match on Sunday night was a 2-0 win over Kennesaw State. Very convincing victory, and now moving into Overwatch.
Oh, wait, hold up. Let's go back to Fortnite real quick.
Oh.
They were once again the highest ranked Canadian team.
All right.
Out of the league.
What's that? Four straight weeks now?
I'm wearing the jersey for a reason, okay? I gotta support Fortnite team. But also, I think this might be 4 weeks in a row, or 3 or 4 for sure.
3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. It's funny because we actually had our town hall yesterday for the varsity teams, and we talked about Fortnite not getting the recognition that they probably deserve, because based on how it works, like, I don't know, standings are really weird. And to qualify for playoffs, you have to be, I think it was top 20 or something like that. And, you know, again, being the top Canadian team, it's like still not getting the recognition, even though they're 25th right now out of 144 teams, which is just insane.
I think they're 21st now.
Oh, okay.
They're 21st ranked, first overall Canadian team. Last week they were 23rd.
All right.
So they did move up 2 spots this week.
So solid.
I'm not sure about the other weeks though, like where they started off in the first week, which we can check for week 1.
Okay.
Would be they started 23rd as well. So they're making a climb slowly, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
good for them.
Consistent finishes, right? That's good. Okay, so now moving on to Overwatch.
Yes.
Overwatch. Overwatch went 2-1 this week. Game 1, they swept. That is what
Lourdes Academy.
Lourdes Academy
Lourdes, that looks right.
in their NACE league, and then they had a 2-0 sweep against St. Louis University. But then Game 3, they had a 3-1 loss against the top-rated team, which is Northwood University in NACE.
Northwood.
Yeah,
But if you're going to lose to someone, it's the top, and you want to lose to the top-rated.
exactly.
Oh.
And they took a map off them too.
Yeah.
So it's not like they got
Northwood
demolished.
gave teams trouble last week too, eh?
Yeah,
I think
they have a
Rocket League,
good
Rocket
program
League
there.
lost to them, and another team did, I think, as well. So they must have a good team there if they're top ranked in
For
a lot
sure.
of esports.
Definitely, yeah.
But-
They got a good thing going there, but again, still taking a map off the top ranked team
That's
is
huge.
impressive in itself.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Next time they'll play them, they'll think of that. Watch those VODs over again, and definitely
Mhm.
could take 3,
Guaranteed.
might take 2. Like who knows?
for sure.
You can easily get a lot of good insight off watching a match that you lost against the top-rated team.
I would
See
definitely
what they
watch.
do that you do it.
Definitely watch that VOD over and over again, just because you can learn. If they're top rated, they must be doing something right, and then you can learn from it, copy them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a confidence builder too, right? Like just playing a really good team, and like Penn State, like in Call of Duty, for example, they were the 4th place finishers out of 72 teams last year. So taking a map off them, also another big confidence booster. So
Mhm.
that's one thing that you got to take away from tough losses like that. You know, what did we do right, and what can we improve on? But
Yeah,
hey, like damn, we took a map off a really, really good team.
they actually won the first map too.
Oh wow.
Which is still
Mhm.
good. Like
Hmm.
getting the first one's huge because it builds the lead. You only need to win 2 more from there. Sucks they couldn't pull through, but at least they won the first
Yeah.
one.
No, for
They
sure.
came out to a hot start. I don't know if their confidence got too high or too cocky, but
Hmm.
definitely a good
Well,
start against that team.
Absolutely. Now, just moving into Rocket League, another monsters week from this team. They just continue to get better. 3 different leagues they're in right now. So first match that they had, of course, was NACE. They played Iowa Central and took care of business, winning that one 3-0. They then had a doubleheader against Northwood's 2 Rocket League teams. First one was the B team, and big surprise, another 3-0 sweep for the Saints Rocket League team. And again, Northwestern Team A, they actually managed to win 3-1. So they did drop a map. Oh no, it's the end of the world. But again, 3-1 victory for them there. So that moved them to 3-0 on the week. They once again played Northwestern B, beat them 3-0 for the second straight time. And they did fall to the University of Oregon in play versus. Not really sure what happened there. Of course, you can't win them all, and ending off the week with a forfeit win, guys. A forfeit win.
Hey, we still
against
take
the University of
take
Hey,
those.
Win's a
man.
win.
A win is a win.
Win's a win. Doesn't matter how you do it.
They had some
Unless
pretty
you
good
cheat.
scores throughout the matches as well. Against, I think they lost to Northwood A's team last week, and then against Northwood B, they won by 1 or 2 goals. So still very
I
close. We
see.
still topped them. But that
There you go.
first game in NACE against Iowa Central, their one match was 10-0.
Oh my
That,
god.
that is. I don't know how good Iowa Central is, but 10-0
Yeah.
seems like a pretty good score to win off of.
This is a terrifying team. Like I would be scared every time if I'm one of these other teams and I'm looking at the schedule. Oh god, we gotta play Saints again. Jesus.
But even they play Northwestern A and Northwestern B,
Mhm.
so you can see the score difference between the two. So Northwestern A is definitely better than Northwestern 2,
For sure.
which is why they took 1 game off of the Saints instead of 0.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is still pretty cool.
For sure. So that's Rocket League once again continuing their domination. Now we'll go to you, Zach, for little tiny bit of Hearthstone, and then we'll get right into League.
So Hearthstone actually got a very easy win. Do you want to know how? A
Please
forfeit.
enlighten us.
The forfeit.
A forfeit win. We take those again. No, they are now 2-2 in Tespa. So they got back to an even record, even though it was a forfeit win. It's still good to be back to a 500% win rate.
Yeah.
Or not 500%.
50.
50.
Yep.
50. Too many zeros. But we got the W. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I guess that was short. We can move on to league.
Yeah.
The
It's
league,
a big one.
the league team did participate in I think it was Drury Esports League Invitational Tournament on the weekend. Actually, first let's just start with the match they had during the week earlier.
Yeah.
They ended up playing the University of Toronto, or I guess I'm on the team, so maybe sounds right. Game 1 was pretty close. We lost. We lost our buddy there for a quick second. Let's wait till he gets back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
We're good.
Yeah, so we did lose game 1. Game 2, the bot lane got ahead, but we couldn't really carry that off to a win. And we ended up losing 2-0 against University, so we're now 1-1 in OPSE League. But then for the tournament, I don't know what seed we went into it as. I think it was like 7th or something out of the 14, or maybe 5th. So we weren't really that much of a favorites going in. But we ended up going 5-1 in the group stage, knocking us 3rd seed out of the 14. So we had then playing the 6th seed in the bracket. For the group stage stats, though, our mid laner, Yule, was the alternate first team, or he made the alternate first team, which is very good for him. He's a good player. And then once again, the Saints also had the 2nd highest KDA in the tournament, or for the group stage in the tournament, which is very good. And then quarterfinals came off against Indiana Tech. We also ended up 2-0 sweeping them. They were a pretty good opponent, actually. Semifinals, we were against Northwood, which is the team that was kind of messing up all the Saints gaming teams. That week and the week prior. We took game 1, I believe, off of them. And then they beat us. We threw game 2 and lost. And then game 3 was a nail biter. And we ended up winning it pretty much off of our mid laner, Yule. He was first alternate team for a reason. He ended up carrying us. And then also our AD carry was on Caitlyn, which is the same hat that Luke's wearing right now. It's her hat. It is her hat.
Oh, it's not Willy Wonka.
No.
Willy Wonka. So.
Oh man, I'm gonna get so much hate from that. Dan is gonna kill me. Oh boy. All right.
So we ended up winning. We ended up going to the finals against Illinois College. They were, I think, they're a pretty good team as well. They were higher seeded going into the tournament, I believe. We lost game 1. It kind of looked doom. I think Danner said it himself on the broadcast. That's not looking too hot. We ended up winning game 2, and actually a pretty good game, like pretty quick, pretty dominant game. And then game 3, there was about 3 kills in the first 15 minutes, so very slow, very long. And then we just randomly started making picks around the map, and then we ended up pushing to get the win in like 30 minutes or so. And then we ended up winning the tournament with kind of like under the radar MVPs going to their support, which would be me, I guess. And then also Andre, because like Trick, Yule, and Lazy, I mean, carried almost every single game, and Andre and I, or Frez and I, just sat there tanking everything and dying for them, which we did good. We died a lot. We did good. But yeah, some cool achievements was Lazy and Yule both had the second highest kills in the kind of the playoffs of it. And then Mienso had the most assists and also the most wards placed. While Trick and Yule also had the most highest KDAs in the tournament also. Or we're in the top 3. Pretty cool stuff by them, or by us. It was a really fun tournament. I would love to do another tournament. I feel like these tournaments really help us bond and come a bit closer as a team, even though we can't really be with each other in the same room still. I do feel like I'm a lot closer to the guys as well through that tournament.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Like, so what was the competition level like? Obviously, like, you guys did pretty well, but how was the competition overall from what you saw?
Competition wise, there's like a mix of teams that were like Diamond 2 average. The one team had a top 200 player. Well then they also had 2 gold players, or like a gold and a low plat player. So like it's like they just went to that one guy to carry them every game because he was so good.
Right.
Which
Just kind of
they
balance
end
out.
up going, I think, to semis. If they beat Illinois, we'd end up having to play them in the finals. Northwood was pretty good as well. Even in a lot of teams are pretty good. But we only got to play half the teams because it was two groups of 7.
Oh, right. Okay.
But the 6 teams we played against, they were all pretty good. We didn't really. I think we only stopped one game, but that was because of a play that we can show if you guys want. It'd be Andre, the top laner, getting like 3 kills in the first like 4 minutes of the game, and the game's pretty much over from there.
Yeah.
Or even the game we played Arnecton as well was a pretty quick game also, but then we started trolling a bit, but it happens.
Sure. Yeah. We can play that clip right now.
A little bit of damage, but doesn't even have to burn a flash. Meanwhile, we see him jumping right back in. Pretty solid position as well. He's low on mana, but it may not matter if the Horn has no health. Unexceptional, force a flash aside, and the follow-up flash from Frez going to get himself first blood. Solo kill in that top lane.
Yeah, that's a really nice first blood. Really well executed as well, kind of abusing that situation, knowing obviously he had no mana, but knowing that he has a chance. There's another fight coming up in the top lane that Hecker and Conqueror providing so much healing, but Frez just doesn't care.
Minions?
Actually burst the flash, the minion damage coming out. There's the blue buff transfer for the top lane. Frez is now 2-0 in this lane. He has the jungler coming up. It looks like he's going to keep fighting this out. Unexceptional. He's playing Ornn. He doesn't have the damage to finish this off. Frez with the Conqueror and the damage shield of his own. That's going to be a 3rd kill for Frez. Ornn knows he's defeated there with the TP into lane and has no way out. Frez is just loving life right now.
Yeah, but then from there, honestly, actually not from there, but like a lot of the competition was pretty close to what we were. It was just, I guess we had more trust, or we felt like we were more confident going into the game, and we kind of made plays, even risky plays that sometimes didn't work, or sometimes did work, and it got us the win. But like the team we faced in the finals have been together for 2 years, or around 1 year and a half maybe.
Wow.
And we have only been together for almost 2 months.
Right. So that's massive.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, and I know the league team for Saints struggled pretty heavily last year. So this is a big, important start, I think, for the League Legends wise.
This is pretty huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ended up going like, I think we were 11-3 in total in the tournament.
Wow.
So we played a lot of games together.
Yeah.
And then it's also a lot of wins. It's probably more wins than all the other League of Legends teams got in total in all their seasons. But it's a tournament as well, so it doesn't go towards anything much like the leagues.
Yeah.
But still, it's a lot of wins for the Saints Gaming.
Oh, for sure. And you know, all that extra practice to prepare for the actual collegiate leagues. For the rest of the year, pretty much.
Definitely.
So
and it's a lot of games to go look back at in VOD review, see how we drafted, see how we played.
Right.
Like map rotations and stuff like that. So it's a lot of games to go look back at, especially the finals and the semifinals. Those are some pretty good competition games.
Right.
We felt like we did get tested a lot more than we did in the group stage. So it's good to see, like from there, what we can grow into.
Well, just
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead. You haven't said much recently.
I was going to say it did seem like you guys got a lot of valuable experience from the games you lost.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, despite like 1 or 2 in particular, maybe they were pretty close, and you could easily identify your mistakes and learn from them.
Oh, for sure. The finals loss, the game 1 loss, we just played into the other team's comps, like the enemy team's comps, like win conditions, where like they wanted to fight early. We didn't really draft a comp to fight early or match their fighting, but we still tried it. And then just like kind of like our vision control wasn't that good that game either, which then we did talk about in between game 1 and 2 to fix for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask about that. Like, what was the mindset after that game 1? Were you guys kind of like down in the dumps, or was it more of like a rally to like everyone talking to each other to get ready for game 2?
Game 2, in between game 1 and game 2, we realized we have to change our bans a bit. So like what they can't play and even our draft, like what we pick as well. And then what else did we try fixing? Oh, just trying to play more towards our win condition, and then instead of trying to not do what they want to do. So kind of play more for yourself than being scared of what they can do.
Right.
So that's what we tried doing, and actually paid off because our second game was a pretty good stomp, and we actually played pretty well together for it.
That's good. That was a huge bounce back because all of a sudden now you have to win. Backs against the wall. You have to win 2 straight maps to win the entire tournament. So that's definitely massive. Luke, any final thoughts on League before we kind of move on?
No, I think that's about everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So-
now it's time for a weekly MVPs. We'll start with Luke. Who's your man for this week?
So my pick is Frez in the top lane for League.
Or from the
This,
the
like-
league team.
Yeah, from the League team.
Yeah.
Like, from what I saw, he had the odds stacked against him and was targeted quite a bit throughout the tournament, but he always managed to have an impact throughout the game. So my props to him. Like, and knowing him personally, knowing how much he has improved as a player, like, he's definitely deserving of my MVP pick for this week.
Yeah, I can second guess that as well. Going into the tournament, you get to like say all your ranks at the certain point you enter. His rank was, I think, Plat 4 when we entered in the tournament.
Mhm.
The final day of the tournament, his like rank was Diamond 4, so he climbed a full tier that week
Mhm.
from that week before to the tournament, and he improved so much during
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah, that's huge. Congrats to Andre on an
He-
amazing week.
Oh,
He definitely puts his nose to the grindstone when
yeah.
stuff's like important.
Oh yeah.
Love to hear that. Well, my MVP for the week, not a League of Legends player. It's a good old Call of Duty player. Got to give it to my guy Corius. He had a rough start to the TESPA season, but really had an amazing weekend, and more specifically on Sunday, dropping 30 kills in map number 1 against Kennesaw. So he's my MVP for the week. He looked really good. The rookie, the freshman, did a good job. Solid job for him. So congrats to him. He's my MVP. Of course, that's a big honor coming from myself because these guys don't know what they're talking about. So
No?
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna move on into our interview. Of course, speaking of Frez, we have him coming up right now. I think we're gonna throw it right to him. Here's Andre Frez Sagan.
Okay. We're just gonna hop straight into the interview here with Andre Frez Sagan. So Frez, tell me about the tournament for you.
Well, thanks for having me, Zach. It's definitely awesome being on here. Tournament was a lot of fun. I know you were obviously a part of it as well, so it's kind of funny talking to you about this. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think that my favorite thing coming out of the tournament is I feel like the team got like a lot better from like game 1 to the whatever game was at the end. We probably played like 20 games or something
We
like
played
that.
14.
Was it 14 total? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think that we got a lot better playing with each other as well as like playing like on our like as ourselves as well. And yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we played 14, won 11 and 3, which is huge. So I know recently that you did switch lanes to play on this team. You tried out as the mid laner. Fortunately, I don't know if you got cut or not, or if they just asked you to try for the top lane right after.
I mean, Owen's a beast.
Owen, he is pretty good as well. But how does that feel to be transitioning to the top lane from mid lane? Like explain it a little bit if you can.
At first, it was a little bit anxious. I remember our first scrim that we played. I was playing Shen, of course. Yeah.
Shen duty, yeah.
And yep. And I was against like a diamond something set 1 trick.
Yeah.
It was normally pretty good into Shen, and I got absolutely rocked that game. I got solo killed. I got dove. I got like 3-man dove top lane. Like it was just not a fun time, and I definitely felt a lot of nerves in that game compared to the games that we played just this past weekend in the tournament, for example. Also, my solo queue win rate took a huge tank. I think that because like I didn't play too much over the summer, I was like just hovering around like plat 2 from playing mid at the time, as well as jungle a little bit. And the second I started picking up top lane, I tanked my way all the way down to plat 4. And you know, because you're picking up a new role,
New
you got to
role, yeah.
basically learn from scratch. And gradually, I've picked up my own play, finding comfort champs that I like, such as Ornn and Camille,
Yeah.
and ended up making my way back to Diamond just this past weekend. Literally the same night as the tournament ended, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm feeling a lot more confident on that. I also like the kind of variety that you get in top lane as well. Like you can play those carry champions like Camille that I finally got to showcase myself for in that one game.
Yeah,
And
you gotta play some carry champions through the tournament, I think.
oh yeah, I got to
Yeah.
play Renekton and I got to play Camille. It was feeling pretty good.
Just
And then
pop
you
off
also have
teams.
you get that role like that you can kind of be like that backbone of the team, like to kind of fit like, or what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like fill out that team composition, like that slot that they're missing, such as like the Ornn pick. You know, you got that
Yeah.
engage, you got that front
Well,
line to protect Loy, protect Owen, protect
Ornn's
Trick. You know
honestly
what
the best top laner for us.
I mean? I really like playing
We-
Ornn. I think he's like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, even though he's a tank, he's a lot
Well,
of fun.
like he also has his passive where you give people free item upgrades that give what $1,000 value on average.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's absolutely insane.
5,000
I mean, that is when people
6,000
put their
free
items
free
in the
item.
right slot. You know,
Yes,
like
I know that happened a
saw
couple
that
times in
this
the
weekend.
tournament. But yeah, Jen on our team as well. If you're not
Mhm.
playing a carry, it's going to be me and you mostly on tanks probably.
Oh yeah.
We don't really see tanks in the jungle as much. I know Trick's carry player.
Mhm.
But when you do
And
get those,
definitely not in the mid lane and
yeah,
AD carry role.
we don't see Galio ever mid.
Oh yeah, that would be the one. That would be the one. That would go
Yeah,
ahead.
but when you do play carries, it seems like so far this year you have popped off, I think. Or
For the most part.
For the most
I
part, you
think-
have.
I think there's been like, I can think of two specific scenarios where I like picked Renekton, and
Yeah.
it didn't end up going well. Like, I think there was one time into a Mordekaiser, and then there was one time into, I think the Urgot in the tournament game just this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That was due to a
Urgot.
multitude of reasons. Like that Rek'Sai was an absolute psychopath. Like literally showing up top lane for no reason whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that game. I think. Like
Oh, yeah.
I had some inting moments that game.
It felt like I was FlyQuest solo there. You know,
Yeah.
just being that whatever, like 2-6, 2-7 Renekton, just being the
Just
W bot onto the enemy AD carry. You know, just getting carried along the way.
Hey, I'm happy getting carried as well. I don't do much carrying for the team either. But if I ever get the chance like you, I'm pretty sure I'll try to carry like
I
you
don't know,
did.
man. You're Pantheon, man.
Pantheon,
it's
yeah,
kind
Pantheon's
it's kind
pretty
of
fun.
insane, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Uh,
I'm pretty sure that you've stolen more dragons in Pantheon games that you've played than the enemy team has secured themselves. I'll be honest.
I've
It's quite
stolen
insane.
3 dragons, I think, so far. I think I've stolen
And some Scuttle
I
Crabs.
think
Fog of
two,
War as well.
2 or 3 scuttle crabs as well. Not a baron yet. I want to get a baron. I think Yule stole a baron once.
Yeah, he did. He did steal one. I think he was playing Syndra.
Yeah.
I think.
We still lost the game, but they stole it. So another question I have for you, to be what it is like to play on a varsity team. I know a lot of people don't have the experience or get experience it themselves. Can you kind of share it to people that don't really know yet or are wanting to join a team and kind of tell them how it's like?
It's definitely a lot of fun. As someone that played varsity Hearthstone last semester and League this semester, it's definitely like, I think it's, although there are two different environments, they're definitely the same. And as far as, you know, you got your teammates, you got to build chemistry with them, you got to have a lot of fun with them. Fortunately for me, I think that there hasn't really been too many issues as far as like actual conflicts within the teams themselves. So it's been a lot of fun. You know, you make some friends along the way. I'm still friends with Nitre, who's still on the team this semester. I haven't talked to Eric in a little bit, mainly because I think he's graduated now, so he's not really like hanging out on the court. But you know, this semester it's kind of funny how both, or you and Evan, are on the team as well.
Yeah.
Considering we were like friends last semester and the semester before that.
Oh yeah, we met week 1 in one of the icebreakers, I believe. I think you wore like your TSM jersey or something, or class, one of your jerseys, and then we talked about it a bit. Evan was wearing Golden Guardians, yeah. Those things you remember.
Yeah, it's definitely a big time commitment though, for sure. I think this semester more than the previous one, League of Legends is definitely a lot more of a time commitment.
Compared to Hearthstone?
Yeah, last semester we would have our practices like once a week at the start, and then as soon as like TESPA like figured out their stuff going on because
Mhm.
like they had a lot of issues at the start of the season, we would play twice a week, and we wouldn't really have too many practices,
Yeah.
mainly because like originally it was like okay like one game a week and then or like one night a week we would play and then just practice on another night.
Yeah.
But that turned into like playing on two separate nights because we had varsity division and open division,
Mhm.
and that turned into like just we kind of practice on our own. Like if we wanted to like message each other and like we we just play against each other, try some decks, we would do that.
Yeah.
But this semester, I find that with league, we usually we have our Wednesday scrim, we have our Thursday game,
Yep.
Friday VOD review, right? So it's like kind of like a 3 day a week thing plus whatever else we're doing throughout then, like whether it's like playing against the club team
Yeah. Just fun.
or just looking for flex games, that kind of thing. So it's definitely a good balance between a lot of fun and a lot of commitment, but it's definitely a commitment that I don't mind doing whatsoever.
No, you're getting a lot better at top lane as well. I just thought of another one real quick. We can talk about it a bit actually. It'd be how do you feel like COVID has changed this team a bit, or like just the varsity experience of it? Because generally you're being in the nest, all five
Yeah.
lined up, top to bot. You'd be seeing each other look down the side, fist bumps, But like,
Yeah,
how does that change?
that's
Because you're just at your house playing by yourself. You still
yeah.
talk to them, but like you don't even know what most of your teammates look like.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I guess I can kind of keep going back and forth like with this comparison to what it was before and what it
Yeah.
is now, but it was definitely really interesting when we were at the college because we would just as soon as we're done our classes, just show up to the nest,
Yeah.
kind of wait for everyone to show up, and like we just start playing together. And it was definitely a lot easier to like build that bond and like because like what we did last semester is after every win we would just go to Chuck's Roadhouse and we would just go after 9 p.m. for half price apps, and like we were able to build that team bonding
Yeah.
experience, and it was definitely a lot of fun, especially that with Hearthstone specifically, considering it was like a one person pilot game
Yeah.
while everyone else like puts input. Communication was like really important because everyone's got to like be on the same page so we know exactly like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And in person that was a lot easier, whereas I specifically remember as soon as we hit the playoffs there were communication issues, whether like we would be confused as to like what we were doing because like when you're in person you can point to cards, you're like, oh, we should do like this,
Oh yeah. For Hearthstone.
whereas we couldn't really do that over Discord. I definitely really I don't know, like I feel like with League specifically there's a mix between being comfortable in your own setup. Like for example, if I'm at my setup home right now, like I'm comfortable in my own chair with my keyboard, my mouse, everything is like the way it's
Yeah.
used to. Compared to I'm sure as you've known, like just playing in like even the open lab, you sign into your account there using a different mouse and keyboard.
It
Like,
does
even though you
feel
could, like,
different.
feels different. As much as you can make it the same, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same chair you used to. Same table height, even chair height,
Exactly. Yeah.
stuff like
And
that.
yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure that I know the CS:GO guys, whenever they were at the college, they would actually put the monitor, or they always had this one monitor on top of a Switch box, like a
For the
Nintendo
height.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would boost the monitor for the height because they were used to it and they didn't want to play it like 4
Yeah.
inches
Well,
shorter.
I have a
because-
monitor stand right now. Like if I go back to
Yeah.
how low it was, I would just feel so weird about it.
Yeah, So there's definitely a lot. I definitely do miss being at the nest though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I know that was a lot of fun, and
I was excited
it's
for that
something-
part.
I really do hope that some things open next semester as
Mhm.
far as like going to college. Even if it's not everything, whether it's like David's class, so we can actually use the facility that we have there,
Yeah.
or like even the nest for the varsity program, so that we can like go there and like kind of have
Even
that
if we can
bonding.
just play matches there,
Yeah,
that'd
like
be-
showing up for varsity matches, that'd be
that'd be
nice.
good. But it is also comfort at home. But
Mhm,
I actually
yeah.
just do want to see what our teammates look like in person. I know our
Yeah, for
chat
sure.
is just photos of me
Yeah, true. You got your hockey
and
photos
joking
in
about
there,
my
yeah.
height,
Yeah.
but no idea what everyone else looks like.
Mhm.
But yeah.
That's true.
So this has been a pretty good fun interview with Andre Fred Segan here. Hope to get a bit more about him. He did have that player think it was a player spotlight of the week last week as well.
Yeah.
And then I believe Luke has you as MVP this week also.
Really?
So I think he did watch a lot of the tournament, he said.
Hmm.
So he did have you as his MVP because he felt like you did pop off on the games you're meant to pop off, and then were stable in the top lane when you had to play those tanks of Orin or Shen.
Mhm.
He just felt like,
I definitely do think. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, you go.
I was gonna say I definitely do think that, like, for specific roles like support and top line, like when you're playing these champions
Mm-hmm.
like that can't really 1v9 games such as Ornn or such as Rakan, I think that one of the biggest things you got to look at is overall impact in a game. I
Yeah.
think that there's one specific game I remember in the tournament. I think, like, if I were to give myself MVP for any of them, I don't really like to think like that though, because
No,
obviously I
yeah.
know how that sounds. But there was one game I remember where we were kind of falling behind. But if there was one thing that was going right, was that the enemy team picked Malphite and I picked Ornn.
Yep.
And I ended up building a lead myself over that Malphite in lane, and I was able to snowball that lead into not dying, and I ended up scaling my XP a lot faster than him, giving Ornn items to everyone else,
Yeah.
so that they were able to actually like come back and just demolish them in the rest of the game.
So that was Durwood or Northwood game 1
Northwood game
in
1
semifinals, I think.
Was that the game where Owen was playing Zoe and we had the Nidalee, or was that a different
That was game 2 of that series.
Right, yeah.
Game 1 was when they had the Zoe.
Mhm.
That was a fun series. But yeah, I definitely feel like for us, we're not really carries as often as everyone else. So we'll be the role players mainly.
Mhm.
Which is
Yeah.
fine. Which is
Yeah,
why
it's fine.
Luke
Fine.
did have you as MVP. He said that you did play a role correctly. You understood what you're meant to do each game. And if you feel like if you did mess up, that we would have lost some games, he felt. Because if you weren't there to kind of stay even in lane against their carries or even their tanks, we would fall behind. We'd just lose our 5v5 team fights or whatever. But that's just what he felt. I did back him up on that point as a guy. He did have a very good tournament. But so did the rest of their team, and that's the reason why we won it. But even if one of us didn't play bad, I feel like we might not have won that tournament because we did go 2-1 2 series in a row.
Every single person on the team definitely earned themselves MVP in at least one game for sure. Like whether it was you or whether it was Trick or whether it was Owen or Loy, I think every single one of us played really, really well in that tournament, and that's why we were able to have that record that we did.
Yeah.
And ended up not just performing well in the group stage, but actually winning the entire thing. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous after dropping game 1 in the finals. I was like, oh no, we didn't wait all day. We didn't sit around for 3 hours just to get into the finals and be like, oh, I guess we're just getting 2-0 here. But no, we ended up turning that around, and that was definitely a lot of fun. Yeah,
I was happy. Well, thank you for taking your time of your day to do this interview with me. Hopefully we can talk again more soon. I know we'll be playing some games soon.
Oh yeah,
but,
for sure.
Definitely thank you for the interview, and love to talk to you soon.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you again. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
No problem. See ya.
All right, that was Andre, aka Frez. Thank you so much for coming on Bird's Eye View podcast. Great interview. Quite the character he is too. I love that guy. Moving in.
Oh, he had the player spotlight of the week last week as well. I don't know if
there you go. Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and yeah. So keep an eye on that too on the YouTube channel and during the matches as well. Players are starting to do their spotlights. I know Sauce for Call of Duty did one, and Andre was the most recent one.
Yeah.
So those are actually really cool to see, and the montages thrown in there as well. Pretty cool.
Those definitely allow you to learn more about the players themselves. I know you can't really meet them in person like you would at school. Like you'd walk by the nest, they'd walk out, you can say hi.
Yeah.
But right now, those are pretty good ways that Saints Gaming is getting people to know who their players are. It's good that hopefully they keep doing it for like one from each different game. And
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they can reach everybody. If not, make sure they get one from every game, because then that'd be cool to know just at least one person.
Definitely, yeah. I can't wait to see more of them for sure. Well, moving into our topic, we talked a little bit about it before. Forfeit wins and no-shows in collegiate esports. It's been a huge problem, and I know our main production man, Danners, hates it probably the most out of anybody. because
Yeah.
I cannot count the amount of times he has prepared for a broadcast for hours straight just to be told at game time that the other team isn't going to show up, or they're forfeiting, something like that. It's just so frustrating, and I want to get your guys' take. Sorry about Luke. Like, what? First off, why does this happen so much, and like, how do we prevent it? How can leagues prevent this from happening?
So as far as why is it happening so much, there's a bunch of reasons. Like maybe let's say League, for example, your only mid laner that you have on the roster can't make it.
Mhm.
You kind of have to forfeit or put
A
a
sub
sub in, but like if that's a only play support, he's not really gonna be able to handle anything mid lane.
That's kind of weird though,
Um,
because like
Yeah.
say that's an example. I guess you have your support substitute in for the mid lane. You could put that person on support champions or supportive
Yeah.
champions, but I know like they won't be up to par as the enemy mid laner, so you might feel
Mhm.
like you're gonna lose anyway. So why not play?
yeah, like, wouldn't
Which
you
is
rather play regardless rather than just not show up at all?
because
Like,
if you play, you still get the experience. You still learn stuff from your mistakes. I know it's not the same mid laner, and it could be that substitute's fault, but why not
Even
play?
so, like
yeah,
It makes no
if
sense.
your mid laner, let's say, can't make it, there's no reason you just don't go in and have a fun game. You just try a weird and wacky comp that you want to test out to see if you can pull that out of the bag later on.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about other games though, because like
yeah,
Call of
because
Duty, I don't know like what you guys do for subs or how like
well,
serious positions are in Call of Duty, but like you could just throw somebody in and he goes
it's
shoot some guys.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know you're joking, but it's really the truth. Like,
Yeah.
you could say the same for CS:GO. I know R6 is a little bit different, with the certain what do you call it? The different players sets you can use. Yeah,
Yeah.
the agents or whatever. Like, I know it's a little bit different for them, but like Call of Duty, CS:GO, it's basically just hop in. Yeah, there's defined roles,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely a lot easier than a game like League to just hop in and play. But I'm just kind of thinking like accountability and certain standard, because like the way collegiate esports has grown over the last 3-4 years since we've kind of started following it, and especially since we came in even last year, like there's got to be a certain standard that they have to set in order to prevent forfeit wins from happening. Like, you don't see professional leagues
No.
with forfeit wins. Like, sometimes it happens,
No.
sometimes it does. So that's just the way it is. But like, there's got to be a point where you say, okay, like, if I'm a CRL and Northwood, for example, forfeits like 3 straight matches for 3 straight weeks, like there's got to be a point where they say, okay, you guys are, like, you get one more shot at this or you're done.
Yeah, and just make
'Cause
them forfeit all
Well,
the rest of the games and not have a team to play.
exactly.
yeah, but like that's also the issue because if you say they're done, then the rest of the games they're going to be technically forfeited anyways.
That's a good point. And
I didn't even
that,
think of that. Yeah.
yeah, because that's how intricate it really is, though. Because, like, how do you issue punishment without hurting the other teams in the league? Like,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find them because they're not professional organizations. Some of them aren't even varsity, so they don't have that funding from their school to if they do get fined, or it's so difficult.
Like you could like kind of keep it out for the rest of the season, and then the next season not have them back as a team and let them participate. That is something you could do.
That's
It
true.
was
Yeah.
still like they might not forfeit every game that's remaining, but they might
Mhm.
forfeit one or
Yeah.
two more. Like say there's 6 and they forfeit 2 of them. There's still 4 games to get played. I know it's kind of unfair in a way. Not really unfair, but
Well,
like it'll seem weird when like 2 teams get free wins and the rest of them have to play them to earn their wins.
Yeah.
But
Because I mean,
that's
it
like
gives,
one way you can go at it.
Yeah, for sure. It just
Makes
sucks
sense.
because it gives other teams advantage. It could really influence standings. Like, if it's late in the season and there's 2 matches left, one team is just outside of playoffs and the first place team is playing the other team on the bubble, and the first place team is like, oh, we're first place, we're just not
Yeah.
going to play, and it gives them a win, and it screws the other team out of a playoff spot potentially. So
Oh,
like,
definitely.
it's so frustrating to see, and that's not even talking about the whole broadcasting side of things, because I remember last year, one instance, me and Seymour were ready to cast a Call of Duty match, and Danner's set up in the esports classroom at St. Clair College, and we're ready to go. We're there an hour and a half early. We're talking. We're getting amped up, and it's going to be an hour and a half long match, and Danners has to do League of Legends immediately after, so he's all scrambling and preparing for this Call of Duty match. And
Yeah.
10 minutes after the game was supposed to start, the other team was like, "Yeah, we can't play." So I'm like, well, I walked all the way to the college, in a suit, and it's like snowing out, and so I
Yeah.
got to walk all the way back. And Danners has now he has time to kill to get ready for League, so I guess it worked out in that way. But
Yeah.
it was just a super unfortunate situation. It's got to be so frustrating.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there like a good 3-week period where it was almost every one of our teams had got forfeit wins?
Oh, like last year or last
Yeah.
Last
I
semester,
remember
last year.
There was a lot of forfeit wins last semester.
Because that day of the Call of Duty match and forfeit, there was 3 forfeits. I remember because the League of Legends match
We had a forfeit game win
was
as
a
well,
forfeit,
Mhm.
and I believe the game before COD, which might have been R6 or Overwatch, was also a forfeit.
Yeah.
And oh man, it was just so heartbreaking because we're getting set up for COD. Danners is already scrambling because Overwatch just got canceled, then Call of Duty gets canceled, and then League gets canceled.
Yeah, you just wasted his time in a way. I know
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
it doesn't affect the league in a way, but it's still somebody else that got affected.
Yeah. So I go ahead.
And looking at the teams, they prepared at least a day beforehand for this matchup.
Oh yeah, like strategies, everything.
For sure.
When Zach and I were assistant coaches for the league team, we had a full system of stuff we wanted to look out for in the game to help the players improve their
Mhm.
game. And then everything was set up, all the players were ready to go. Game gets canceled.
Yeah, and then all that
And we're
time's out of the window trying to focus on that opponent
Mhm.
when you could have more focus on yourself or
Yeah.
the next one even as well.
Yeah, it's just because and like you said, Luke, whether you're preparing a day before or a week before, you're watching VODs on them.
Mhm.
You're and honestly, similar to football, you're preparing for a different team each week or each game.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't matter how long you prepare for it, you're preparing for them because you can change your
Yeah.
play style based on the team you're playing, and you practice all week, and then all of a sudden the match get canceled, and you're like,
It's
well, we
gone.
just wasted our time.
It's gone.
Just like that. Just like that.
Yep.
This is not the same topic as you guys are. Do you want to keep talking about the same thing actually, or you keep going if you want?
No, keep going with your thought.
I was
Keep
gonna
going.
I was gonna say that the schools themselves, if we had a forfeit lost, St. Clair or even Sean, the head of esports, should try to talk to the team or do something about the team, because if they're forfeiting because the guy's not showing up, and say 6 guys tried out for the team and only 4 of them made it or whatever, and you keep forfeiting because the one guy's not making it, kick him off the team and grab the one guy you cut, and he wants that spot too. If that's the reason you're forfeiting, because there's other people that want the spots that you're forfeiting games for.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I don't know if they do scholarships either. He's getting free scholarships and just gonna forfeit every game.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right either in a way.
I'm pretty sure in the contract, it says you have to be there for a certain number of games.
Yeah, even
or a certain percentage.
For us, we have to be there for practices, or else Yuri will say, our coach will say something, or
yeah,
we have to be at certain things, or else we're off. Those, whatever happened on Sunday, we had to be there for that. The town hall, we had to be there for that.
Yeah,
that's part of what we have to do as being part of the varsity team.
Right,
and so we should be held accountable to what we do. Oh, sorry.
Exactly, and another thing is that not a lot of these schools are varsity yet.
That's true. That's true.
So those standards that varsity has, especially with St. Clair right now, most I don't want to say most teams, but definitely some teams can't match that because they're just a club team or just a thrown together team representing the school. They're like, oh well, we forfeit. We don't get any
Yeah.
repercussions. So like that's why TESPA for this TESPA tournament that the COD guys are in, it's not varsity only, but
No.
the for the future it will be. TESPA is generally varsity teams only, which helps in a way. Of course, I have my grievances about TESPA. Everybody knows that. They see me on Twitter, but like varsity only sets the standard, and that's what we talked about a little bit earlier. Like these teams are accountable. If you forfeit, you get penalized, and most of the time, I shouldn't say most of the time. Some of the time, or I'm trying to word this like. They have these standards now, especially if every school's varsity. If you miss a match, you're going to get penalized, whether it's from the league or from the school, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one good thing that could be a solution for the future. But then it also hurts club teams who are possibly trying to get to the varsity status. If they're not competing with the varsity teams, how do they get to the varsity level? So there's
Yeah.
so many different angles that you got to attack with this topic.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. This week we did have 3 forfeit wins, which is good. Like at least it's not us forfeiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Like I wouldn't want to be on a team and forfeit a game. I want to play every game that's available to me because I joined the team for a reason. I'm not joining the team not to play. I'm joining the team to play.
Mhm.
Like if I get subbed in for the sub, I will try to fight my spot back. But at least it's not a forfeit. Like my team's still playing also. It's not just me.
Well, since you brought up subs, one way to fix like teams forfeiting because they don't have everyone that can make it is just give more sub spots.
Yeah,
Like-
but that is also onto the coaches to take their players out that aren't meeting their standards and then putting the subs in, or even the head of esports for that school or for the club.
sure.
So like it's hard to say, oh, we just have a sub and they'll be in. Like you can sign subs, but you might not want to play the subs also, or you'd rather have the starter. If you can't play, you're just go, oh, we're done. We're not winning. We're forfeiting. But like it is smart to have subs. Like our team has a subs. I think Call of Duty has subs. Rocket League, I'm pretty sure does as well.
I
Or
think
their coach
most of our
might be the sub.
teams, I think most of our teams do have subs,
Mm-hmm.
and I think some of the subs also play on the club teams,
Which is good because then they're actually getting still playing
they're still
time
getting
and they're
experience and
improving
whatnot.
experience.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if subs will fix the forfeit. There's a lot of different reasons to forfeit, but that is definitely one way it does fix forfeiting. Because you can see, for example, on St. Clair, like one of the games I had to go work, so I couldn't play game 1 of this 3-game series. And then so our sub came and played one. We ended up, I think we won the match, which is good because then I just come out to win one. Or I could let him play the next one, see if he wins or loses if he's feeling good. But I think he let me play instead. And then we still won, which subs are really good. I like subs.
Yeah. And it's important to keep them in the loop too. But that's another topic that I'm sure we can touch on in a later episode. But I think there was a case last week or the week before. I forget which game and which team. I think it was maybe Alabama or Oklahoma or something like that, where they had to reschedule or forfeit, I believe, because their players couldn't access the equipment on campus. Like right now, they're allowed to go on campus and play, and for some reason, I believe that they either weren't allowed or 1 or 2 players couldn't make it into the school. I don't know the entire situation, but I know like in a case like that, in a case similar to that, that's an understandable reason to either reschedule or forfeit. Yeah, it still sucks, but that would be the only that obviously can't happen more than once or twice, but in that case, I think it's kind of understandable to a degree.
Well, in that case, it seems like the onus is more on the coach, the staff of the team to schedule out time for the uses of the PCs to play.
Yeah, definitely. So any final thoughts on that before we kind of move into this week's schedule?
I think so. I was just thinking, I think some leagues have like not like just a game start will be like 8 o'clock. and then by like 8:30, if you don't show up or get into queue or like into like the custom game, you are forfeit lost or forced to take a forfeit loss. I think does your league have that? Like Call of Duty League? I know League
Yeah.
does. Like every
Yeah.
league does have that. I'm pretty sure. Which still, like, I don't know if people are forfeiting right at 8 or they take the time, try to get the guy in. If you can't make it, oh, we're screwed. We can't play.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how people are forfeiting. It would be a cool thing to look into or get to know more. But most leagues do have that time frame. Like, hey, if you can't show up by this time, you're done. So they do give you a leeway. If you can't start at 8 here, we have till 8:30 to start.
Well, even when I was running tournaments, I would put whenever each round starts, you have 10 minutes to get into the lobby and start your game.
Yeah.
And then whichever team is either not full in the lobby or not ready at 10 minutes,
You lost.
it's sorry,
Yeah.
you're out.
Yeah.
It's part of the rule set for the league, right? Like the I don't know if it's a rule set, but like I think it's a rule set. The requirements, I think.
Yeah.
It's a rule that we had to put into tournaments.
Yeah. So like that should be a thing there, and the teams should follow that to the best they can. Which sometimes they might have to forfeit, I guess. But at least as long as it doesn't happen every week that you're forfeiting, you should be fine. But if you do have a reason to forfeit, like a guy's working or your roster can't make it or internet issues or stuff like that, then it should be a bit more fine to forfeit. But it still sucks knowing that people are forfeiting. We're not, but or like St. Clair's not, I guess. But we're getting free wins off of it.
Yeah.
Makes our win rate look pretty good. I think we're around like 70% win rate.
Yeah. So
I
that
want to say, and like for all of our teams,
72%.
72% for like all of our teams, which is very good.
Yeah. 56 and 21 total after this week.
I think that's only including 3 weeks actually. That number.
Oh,
there
okay.
is still week 1 where we went 17 and 8. Or
Right,
are we week 4 or 5 right now?
This is week 4, I believe.
We might be in week 5 because we're in week 6 for school. This might be week 5.
I don't think leagues start until the second week.
Because September. I'm not. Some leagues could have started early. I know some leagues started earlier.
Yeah, because Fortnite is in only week 4 and we're in week 6.
Yeah, but I think some leagues start differently. So we're 56 and 21 in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think
this week
the week before that, 17
and
8. And then I'll look into see what other weeks there were just to make sure.
This week we went 21 and 6.
21 and 6 for this week. The week before is 10 and 3. We didn't have a lot of games the week before. 2 weeks ago was 25 and 12. And the week before that was 17 and 8. So there is more weeks that were played. And then also the week before that. So there have been 5 weeks total.
Okay.
So most leagues we can assume are in 5 weeks.
Yeah. So around 5 weeks total of play. Just still very good.
Yeah. Nevertheless, like
so we haven't had more losses than wins yet in a week. Our closest was 10 and 7. But then right after that, we doubled our wins, tripled our wins, or tripled our wins compared to our losses.
Yeah, it's just getting better and better every week. Yeah. So, of course, this episode being recorded on Monday, the 26th.
Yep.
Yes.
Halloween edition. Now
Halloween's
do have
Saturday.
Yeah. Well, we're a little early, but
we can't do it after Halloween. That's when Christmas starts.
Yeah, this is weird. That's when the Santa hats come out.
Yeah.
But on recording date, Monday the 26th, we have Fortnite in their play versus matches in season 5 as they look to continue to maintain the number 1 spot in that league as the top Canadian team.
Their number 1 spot being their top Canadian team. Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure they're not ranked number 1. They're 21 still, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so slowly creeping up, and of course Rocket League, which is going on right now. I could actually find the results. Rocket League against Dickinson State University and UCEA. Luke, did you want to take us through the rest of the matchups?
Yep. So Tuesday, CSGO teams versing Davenport University for the UCEA League. Rocket League is versing the LCU, which is, I believe...
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Could not tell you.
It's
It sounds like a cool name if we knew it, but
Yeah.
it's a university. That's all we know.
Love Block Christian University.
Is that right?
Okay.
Is that their name?
Then, yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So then Hearthstone is playing in their varsity division.
Hopefully it's not another forfeit win, but we do take those still.
Do take
Take the
those.
forfeits.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, Overwatch is versing Augustana, I believe that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
University?
We'll say that. We'll say that.
Ooh. So this one's actually pretty interesting to me. Hearthstone is versing my previous college, Fanshawe,
You went to
Ooh.
Fanshawe?
twice.
Twice. Well, that's
Wow.
that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to interview you. Huh.
Then on Thursday,
This is a hype match.
the showdown of this is the two Titans of Windsor.
The only
League of
it's
Legends.
the only Titans of Windsor. There's only two college universities in there.
Hey, don't play it down. This is a huge match.
It's
Gotta put
definitely
the
No, this
pressure on.
is-
it's
this
the
one's-
Battle of Windsor. I'd say I'm very
This
excited to
is-
play them.
This is for bragging rights.
You gotta come check
Oh,
this
yeah.
out. I don't know if we play at 6 or 8. There will be a post about it, but definitely come try
Yeah.
to check out this game.
This one's
against
one I'm gonna
University of
make sure
Windsor
to
on
watch.
Thursday.
I'm
Definitely.
gonna do my
It'll-
best to watch this one.
Should be a good match. If not,
Yeah.
I hope we win because I'm gonna brag about it. They are really
Yeah.
close. I'm gonna knock on wood
Then-
real quick.
Yeah.
Friday, CS:GO is versing Iowa State University.
Iowa State.
Rainbow Six Siege team is versing Texas A&M in the CR6 playoff round of 16.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be good.
they did move on this week with their win into the next round. So if they win this
Mhm.
one, be round of 8, hopefully getting closer and closer to the finals.
I'll be watching that. That's gonna be really good.
I might check it out too
Well-
then as well. Depends on what time the game's at. Might be working, might not be.
And then the Call of Duty team is versing the University of Oklahoma for TESPA.
That should be a good match too.
Saturday, we got R6 versing Washington State University.
Is this a different league for
In-
them?
Yeah, this is the R6 Collegiate League
Okay.
Championship.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty versus Ottawa University.
That's gonna be interesting. Ottawa, they're brand new in Call of Duty this year, but they've recruited 2 top tier amateur players. So they look absolutely insane right now. So that's going to be a true test for these COD guys. I'm excited, nervous, but excited.
It's good to see people are recruiting though. I know
Yeah.
St. Clair's looking at trying to recruit more, recruit better at least.
Yeah,
So it's good to see. I know it's not good to see that other people took good talent. We want good talent here as well, but locally we do have very good talent.
that's
As
true.
you can see
yeah.
so far by our incredible win rate as I guess Saints Gaming.
Yep. Okay, so just to update the Varsity Rocket League team, Monday the 26th. Dickinson State University, game 1 was actually a 3-0 loss. So Dickinson State taking
Really?
kind of a surprising victory. Don't know where they're ranked in UCEA, but starting off with a 3-0 win for them. And then game 2 was a 6-2 win for St. Clair. So
Okay.
nice bounce back victory.
Maybe this couldn't score or hit the net.
Yeah. So game 3 was another 2-0 win for Dickinson State. So all of a sudden they're up 2-1. And game 4, backs against the wall, a 2-1 victory in overtime with Kariz slamming it home with a minute 55 left to go
Overtime.
in OT, and they
Nice.
rolled right through into game 5, winning 3-0.
Oh, so
And,
maybe
so
maybe they
they-
started slow.
Yeah, they pull off the victory somehow, and it says here Kariz had 5 goals and 12 saves in those 5 games. So huge
Nice.
performance
That-
from him.
There's probably a lot of those saves in game 4 and 5, honestly.
Yeah.
They were definitely trying to win that series.
No, Absolutely, yeah.
He was
So,
probably going hard the last couple games.
oh yeah, the huge performance from him, and good to see Rocket League coming out with a victory after shaky start, but they get the job nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's gonna do it for us. Any final thoughts before we kind of send it home?
Just we hope for more forfeit wins, but hope for less forfeits in general, and hope that we're not the ones forfeiting.
Yeah. The league team better beat University of Windsor, or
Yeah.
my sister's not going to let me hear the end of it.
She goes there too.
She goes to the U of Windsor.
Wow, you just
So if you guys win, I'm not going to let her hear the end of it.
okay. Actually, I like that. I like that. I'll
Right
try it
on.
out. You put a lot of pressure on us now. Actually,
Yeah, I'm gonna
it's
I'm
a
gonna go on
family arguments on the line here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put $500 on the game on a betting site.
Oh, hope
Find it?
if you
No
find a
way.
betting site, let me know. I guess that's
Dude.
legal for me.
That would be so cool. But anyways, that's gonna do it for us here. Season 2, episode 2 of the Bird's Eye View podcast, Halloween edition. I do apologize for all the League of Legends fans. That is not, in fact, a Willy Wonka hat. I have been informed otherwise, so I do apologize for that. I thought it was quite funny, but
It is Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Caitlin, yes.
I'll remember that for next Halloween.
If you ever play League with us, we'll make you play her or
right.
play as her.
Well, I'm gonna start learning League, so I have a clue of what's going on when you guys talk about it. So
we did talk about it a lot today, but it's because they did win their first tournament as a League team.
Yeah, it's true.
It was huge for them. A lot of Saints Gaming is happy about it. It's good. It brings us excitement for what the rest of the years to come for that team, or for my team, or the League of Legends team. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good year indeed. Many more episodes to come. For myself, Coach Zarin, and Willy Wonka, and of course Captain Canada to close things out here. Thank you all so much for watching. We will catch you all next week. Peace out, everybody.